Good afternoon. This is Robert Pultz coming to you from North Carolina. Let's get this shared set up. Okay, this is family question number 7, and actually 7 and 8 in a way, because I answered 2 questions in it. Question was, how many of our relatives were spies in any war? And it's going to cover Ann Bates and Mollie Pultz. Now, Ann Bates was another question. It was how are we related to Ann Bates? But we'll cover that in just a minute. Okay, I'm just like you. I'm not a professional or an expert genealogist. I've been doing this since 1992. A lot of technology changes since then. Started doing videos because I was, sharing the information with my cadres in various genealogy groups, and kept getting feedback that I was going too fast, and it was different people that I was going too fast on different places. So I started thinking about YouTube videos and how I played them and rewound them and stopped them and everything, so I could see what other people were doing. So I started recording them and handing them out as my handouts for my presentations, and that seems to have worked. Trying to take and get more expressive. I've been 6 beats and got some feedback that I'm kind of dry. I'm trying to be more expressive. This doesn't cover DNA or AI, which I'm just a beginner in. Okay, this all came about because I was asking the family question each year, because the most common genealogy statement is I wish I'd asked them when they were living a question. And so I told them, we're living, we're sitting here. What questions do you have about the family? And actually this generated 2 questions. The first was from a 10-year-old, and she wanted to know if we were related to Ann Bates, the Revolutionary War spy. And how are we related? Well, that was a very refreshing question. And it showed that she knew who her grandmother's maiden name was. It also showed a lot of interest in genealogy. So that was interesting. I guess she's been reading about Ann Bates in one of her classes. The second was from her mother, and it was how many of our relatives were spies in any war? So it the first question kind of generated the second. So the process I'm going to use is the research log for Ann Bates. Ann Bates in the Wikipedia. Ann Bates at the University of Michigan collection of letters. Then I'm going to take and do the research log for Mollie Pultz. Probably I'm going to just cover one pedigree chart. Kind of flip that over. This is a tie to family question number 5. Did our family own slaves? So if you want more information about the family and slaveholding, that might be interesting. Probably plays right into that. I've got a map of Middleway, which is where Polly was born, and we'll talk about the Smithfield project, which is in Middleway. So all these tied together. That's multiple videos of mine that are tying together with this. And then I thought I'd go through my YouTube videos. There seems to be some question about how to navigate YouTube videos. And I'll show you how I do it. Well, we don't need that yet. We need this. Okay, let's start out with Ann Bates and her research log. This is her research log. I'm not totally happy with this format, so I changed it, and I'll show that to you in the next research log. So these are the various places that I researched her at, and the notes that I took about those locations. Basically, Ann Bates lived from 1748 to around 1801. She was a teacher, and apparently a British soldier walked into her class and swept her off her feet. She married him. So her maiden name is unknown. but her married name is Bates. She took part in the Revolutionary War. She was a spy for the UK or England, and she reportedly was very successful at thwarting Washington's attempt to take Rhode Island. In 1871, she and her husband sailed Fremont, and when they got there, apparently he abandoned her and went back to the states and was fighting in the either in North or South Carolina, I forgot which, and for the British again. This forced her into a situation where she needed to get some funds, and she petitioned for um, uh, uh, some money from the government, regular money from the government for her activities as a spy, and that documented all of her stuff. And without that, we probably wouldn't know too much about her. So this is the little bit that we've been able to find about her. I cannot find her maiden name. A lot of this came from an archive I didn't even know existed, and it's at the University of Michigan, and they have a collection of letters there, and one is a letter that she wrote, and so they have documented her information there. So that was a new one for me. Since I now am looking at spies, which I never thought I would be, as part of the genealogy thing, I'm developing sources that are there. Okay. Well, that's what I know about Ann Bates. It'll be a long-term project. It's not done. Hopefully more information will become available for her later on. And when that becomes available, then I will start updating this. The second question was, how many of our relatives were spies? There's a research log for that. You'll notice that this has changed a bit. I took the HTML output that's available on Zotero for this. I have to keep all my research logs in Zotero. And I like its view better, and it functions better. So this is how that looks. Mollie Pultz. You've got to look at her in both ways. Was a Confederate spy in the Civil War, and this is how she's related to me. I didn't show you the other pedigree charts because they're redundant with this one. Now, if you remember from the presentation I did on the question about slave ownership, the only slave owners that I could find were in this line under Jacob Frederick Pultz. And the ones that I definitely documented were George and Nicholas, and Nicholas's brother, which I think was David. So it's no surprise to find a Confederate spy in this line. So anyway, she was in Jefferson, West Virginia, and this is kind of what she looks like. This Shenandoah Valley battlefield talks about her. Now, the best thing that I found was this article. This is in the Washington Times. And it goes through and talks about the whole family and everything in the Shenandoah Valley. Well, it gives her where she was born, 2 miles south of Middleway, okay, which fell right into my YouTube fan project. So anyway, so that gave her all the information about the location, and the whole family is located around there. So now we go to this slide. This is where Middleway is. And Middleway is right this close to Virginia. So this is the actual line between the Confederate states and the United States. And you'll notice this is Harper's Ferry, this is Martinsburg, so you can take time kind of triangulate where you're at. Okay. This, by the way, 81 is the Shenandoah Valley through this area. And well, they talk about the Shenandoah Valley Confederate spies. That led into the Smithfield fan project. Before it was Middleway, it was Smithfield. And Smithfield is, I've been doing Friends, Neighbors, and Associates Research Program on Smithfield. I'm up to 7 videos on it now. And so I keep on going on that. I will have more videos to take and show you, but it will link the two together. So the next thing is, you may be interested in other family questions. I'm up to 7 of them now. You can find those. It's under this playlist. Okay. Now let's talk about how to take and use my YouTube channel. When you go to my YouTube channel up here, it's Mollie Pultz videos. You can get the latest. When you're under the video tab, you can get the latest. So you can see 6 was royalty in the family. And I'm trying to get all these family questions videotaped by the time we get to Thanksgiving this year, so I can answer them. Here's the most popular ones. Got 2,000 views on this one on how to use full text search. Workflow, that's just genealogy workflow. Seems to be a lot of interest there. Almost 1,000 views on this one. This is Zortero for research logs. Like I said, I changed some things. And then the oldest. So here's using the library edition for shaky leaves. It's still got 64 views. When I started this, I thought 21 views would be about all I ever get. So I'm quite happy with it like that. Okay. Okay, I showed you the associated videos. Here's the video for our family owned slaves, which I referenced in there on the Smithfield fan project, which I referenced in this video. Here's my contact information, FQ007 @AOL.com. Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. I do respond to emails, but it takes a while. Please email additional topics you think I should take. If there's something in here that I do, and I'm not clear on how I do it, make sure you do that. I want to thank you for your time. And you have a great day.